Day 65. Joshua 46. Joshua chapter 4. 12 stones are taken out of the river to be set up for a monument of the miracle, and other 12 are placed in the midst of the river. And when they were passed over, the Lord said to Joshua, Choose 12 men, one of every tribe, and command them to take out of the midst of the Jordan, where the feet of the priests stood, 12 very hard stones, which you shall set in the place of the camp, where you shall pitch your tents this night. And Joshua called 12 men, whom he had chosen out of the children of Israel, one out of every tribe. And he said to them, Go before the ark of the Lord your God to the midst of the Jordan, and carry from thence every man a stone on your shoulders, according to the number of the children of Israel, that it may be a sign among you. And when your children shall ask you tomorrow of saying, What means these stones? He shall answer them, The waters of the Jordan ran off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord when it passed through the same. Therefore were these stones set for a monument of the children of Israel forever. The children of Israel therefore did as Joshua commanded them, carrying out of the channel of the Jordan 12 stones, as the Lord had commanded him, according to the number of the children of Israel, unto the place wherein they camped, and there they set them. And Joshua put there 12 stones in the midst of the channel of the Jordan, where the priests stood that carried the ark of the covenant, and they are there until this present day. Now the priests that carried the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan, till all things were accomplished, which the Lord had commanded Joshua to speak to the people, and Moses had said to him. And the people made haste, and passed over. And when they had all passed over, the ark also of the Lord passed over, and the priests went before the people. The children of Reuben also, and Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh, went on before the children of Israel, as Moses had commanded them. And 40,000 fighting men by their troops and bands marched through the plains and fields of the city of Jericho. In that day the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, that they should fear him, as they had feared Moses, while he lived. And he said to him, Command the priests that carried the ark of the covenant to come out of the Jordan. And he commanded them, saying, Come ye up out of the Jordan. And when they that carried the ark of the covenant of the Lord were come up, and began to tread on the dry ground, the waters returned into their channel, and ran as they were wont before. And the people came up out of the Jordan, the 10th day of the first month, and camped in Gilgal, over against the east side of the city of Jericho. And the 12 stones, which they had taken out of the channel of the Jordan, Joshua pitched in Gilgal, and said to the children of Israel, When your children shall ask their fathers tomorrow, and shall say to them, What mean these stones? You shall teach them, and say, Israel passed over the Jordan through the dry channel, the Lord your God drying up the waters thereof in your sight, until you passed over, as he had done before in the Red Sea, which he dried up till we passed through, that all the people of the earth may learn the most mighty hand of the Lord, that you also may fear the Lord your God forever. Joshua chapter 5. The people are circumcised, they keep the pass. The manna ceaseth. An angel appeareth to Joshua. Now when all the kings of the Amorites, who dwelt beyond the Jordan, westward, and all the kings of Canaan, who possessed the places near the great sea, had heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of the Jordan before the children of Israel, till they passed over, their heart failed them, and there remained no spirit in them, fearing the coming in of the children of Israel. At that time the Lord said to Joshua, Make thee knives of stone, and circumcise the second time the children of Israel. The second time. Not that such as had been circumcised before were to be circumcised again, but that they were now to renew and take up again the practice of circumcision, which should be omitted during their 40 years sojourning in the wilderness, by reason of their being always uncertain when they should be obliged to march. He did what the Lord had commanded, and he circumcised the children of Israel in the hill of the Fineskins. Now this is the cause of the second circumcision. All the people that came out of Egypt that were males, all the men fit for war, died in the desert, during the time of the long going about in the way. Now these were all circumcised. But the people that were born in the desert, during the 40 years of the journey in the wide wilderness, were uncircumcised, till all they were consumed that had not heard the voice of the Lord, and to whom he had sworn before, that he would not show them the land flowing with milk and honey. The children of these succeeded in the place of their fathers, and were circumcised by Joshua, for they were uncircumcised even as they were born, and no one had circumcised them in the way. Now after they were all circumcised, they remained in the same place of the camp, until they were healed. And the Lord said to Joshua, This day have I taken away from you the reproach of Egypt. And the name of that place was called Gilgal, until this present day. And the children of Israel abode in Gilgal, and they kept the feast on the 14th day of the month at evening, in the plains of Jericho, and they ate on the next day unleavened bread of the corn of the land, and fermented of the same year. And the manna ceased after they ate of the corn of the land, neither did the children of Israel eat the fruit any more, but they ate of the corn of the present year of the land of Chanaan. And when Joshua was in the field of the city of Jericho, he lifted up his eyes, and saw a man standing over against him, holding a drawn sword. And he went to him, and said, Art thou one of ours, or of our adversaries? And he answered, No, but I am prince of the host of the Lord, and now I am come. Prince of the host of the Lord, etc. Saint Michael, who is called Prince of the people of Israel, Den. And 21. Joshua fell on his face to the ground, and worshipping said, What saith my Lord to his servant? Worshipping, not with divine honor, but with the religious veneration of an inferior kind suitable to the dignity of his person. Loose, saith he, thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy. And Joshua did as was commanded him. Joshua chapter 6. After 7 days' processions, the priests sounding the trumpets, the walls of Jericho fall down, and the city is taken in the strump. Now Jericho was close shut up and fenced, for fear of the children of Israel, and no man durst go out or come in. And the Lord said to Joshua, Behold, I have given into thy hands Jericho, and the king thereof, and all the valiant men, who round about the city. All ye fighting men went a day, so shall ye do for 6 days. And on the 7th day priests shall take the 7 trumpets, which are used in the Jubilee, and shall go before the ark of the covenant, and you shall go about the city 7 trimmes, and the priests shall sound the trumpets. And when the voice of the trumpet shall go longer in broken tune, and shall sound in your ears, all the people shall shout together with a very great shout, and the walls of the city shall fall to the ground, and they shall enter, and every one at a place against which they shall stand. Then Joshua, son of Nun, called the priests, and said to them, Take the ark of the covenant, and let 7 other priests take the 7 trumpets of the Jubilee, and march before the ark of the Lord. And he said to the people, Go, encompass the city armed, marching before the ark of the Lord. And when Joshua had ended his words, and the 7 priests blew the 7 trumpets before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and all the armed men went before, the rest of the common people followed the ark, and the sound of the trumpets was heard on all sides. But Joshua had commanded the people, saying, You shall not shout, nor shall your voice be heard, nor any word go out of your mouth, until the day come wherein I shall say to you, Cry and shout. So the ark of the Lord went about the city once a day, and returning into the camp abode there. And shouts arising before day, the priests drew the ark of the Lord, and 7 of them 7 trumpets, which are used in the Jubilee, and they went before the ark of the Lord, walking and sounding the trumpets. And the armed men went before them, and the rest of the common people followed the ark, and they blew the trumpets. And they went round about the city the 2nd day once, and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days. But the 7th day, rising up early, they went about the city as it was ordered 7 times. And when in the 7th going about the priests sounded with the trumpets, Joshua said to all Israel, Shout, for the Lord hath delivered the city to you. And let this city be an anathema, and all things that are in it to the Lord. Let only Rahab the harlot live, with all that are with her in the house, for she hid the messengers whom we sent. But beware lest he touch aught of those things that are forbidden, and be guilty of transgression, and all the camp of Israel be under sin, and be troubled. But whatsoever gold or silver there shall be, or vessels of brass and iron, let it be consecrated to the Lord, laid up in his treasures. So all the people making a shout, and the trumpet sounding, when the voice and the sound thundered in the ears of the multitude, the walls forthwith fell down, and every man went up at the place that was over against him. And they took the city, and killed all that were in it, man and woman, young and old. The oxen also, and the sheep, and the asses, they slew with the edge of the sword. But Joshua said to the 2 men that had been sent for spies, Go into the harlot house, and bring her out, and all things that are hers, as he assured her by oath. And the young man went in, and brought out Rahab, and her parents, her brethren also, and all her girls, and her kindred, and made them to stay without the camp. But they burned the city, and all things that were therein, except the gold and silver, and vessels of brass and iron, which they consecrated unto the treasury of the Lord. But Joshua saved Rahab and Harlah, and her father's house, and all she had, and they dwelt in the midst of Israel until this present day, because she hid the messengers whom he had sent spy out Jericho. At that time Joshua made an imprecation, saying, Cursed be the man before the Lord, that shall raise up and build the city of Jericho. In his first form may he lay the foundation thereof, and in the last of his children set up its gates. Cursed to Teter. Jericho, in the mystical sense, signifies iniquity, the sounding of the trumpet by the priests, the preaching of the word of God, by which the walls of Jericho are thrown down, when sinners are converted, and the dreadful curse will light on them who build them up again. And the Lord was with Joshua, and his name was noised throughout all the light,